Hi guys, what's going on? This is Namkraft and welcome yet to another series of Starcraft English commentary. I'm going to bring to you today a guaranteed to be epic gameplay between a very renowned player and a kind of a semi-retired amateurish player. On the one hand, we're going to be having Snow as a Protoss player on the bottom left of the screen, and we will have Zelot as a Zerg player on the bottom right of the screen. This is part of the Laddernet series, so games that these guys play randomly, warming up themselves and just amusing their fans, and it's not at all serious, but sometimes we do get very high level of strategies and execution and syntax and whatnot in these kinds of games. So let's see how this game is going to be played out. Map today we're going to be seeing this game on is Radeon 4-player map, and actually once again I'm traveling again today, so I don't have much in the way of equipment. I have very basic materials with me, just a mouse, an office mouse, and then 50-cent mic that I bought from Walmart, and that's it. So let's see. And one more thing is, actually this mouse doesn't have batteries. This mouse is almost about to die soon, so if it dies at some point in the future, I guess we'll see how it goes. But this is going to be a game that is going to be slightly geared towards a little bit of a longer game, I feel, because from the Zerg side we do have a 12 hatchery opening. And from the Protoss side we will have a gateway opening. So this gateway it is going to bring a little bit more of a military presence here for Snow, but let's see who's going to apply a lot of pressure against the Zerg side here. Looks like for now this overlord from Zelot is going to arrive, and he's going to check for the situation. He wants to see if there's a quick expansion or not, but he's going to be feeling a little bit disheartened to see that there's going to be a gateway there in the corner. So yeah, he's going to be hiding him for sure. He's not going to reveal to the enemy what is going to be the build. And as for Snow, he will make his first Zelot. As you can see, the Zelot has been made already, and we're going to be going for scouting now for Snow. Let's see how he's going to react on this other map. We're going to be seeing spawning pool coming down. By the way, if you've been following the news, we had the eSport World Cup recently, and we had Starcraft. The final Starcraft games were being played. I did not watch all of it. Actually, I'm not that big of a fan of Starcraft 2, but we did have Zero and Classic. Zero is, I think he's a Finnish player, and Classic, who is a Korean player, played and was ZVP in the final. So I guess if you're following the Starcraft 2, you would know about that, but if you have not, you can also check it out. I think Atosis is the caster. Atosis and Tasteless are the casters for that. Anyways, one thing that I've been just really wondering around recently is that these StarCraft 2 players, they eventually switched to StarCraft. These StarCraft 1 players, they eventually switched to StarCraft 2. But what was really interesting is that they did not stay for a long time, and they back up into into StarCraft 1. And I was just looking up the reason for that, and I feel like was it just basically monetary reasons, meaning that it was not enough of the scene there for these StarCraft 2 StarCraft 1 players to stay? Or was it more of a skill level thing? Or is it the game was too boring or something like that? If you have any insights, please let me know. But for now, we will have these Zerglings trying to get in here, and Snow is going to be facing a little bit of pressure. He's got his 4 Zelot. He's going to be going for the for the Forge, and he's going to be super careful here. The battles have started already. The forge is not yet completed. The battery is building, buying some time a little bit for Snow. And we do have another engagement happening. Very close counter combat between these units, and these probes are helping out a lot as well. The next Zelot should be coming up soon, but the gateway is taking a lot of damages, and it looks like one Zelot has been sniped, but he needs to get those Zerglings destroyed before the gateway fall. He's gonna try to remake another Zelot, and now he's got 4. He loses a probe in the process, but he's able to hold for a while, and Snow's going to have to back up and use the battery once again. I think he's just got enough battery usage. He's going to be very careful. The Zerglings don't have speed, though, so whatever, pressure that Zelot is putting on will end very soon. And yes, we do have yet another Zelot that pops, and another Zelot has died though, and now we only have 3 Zelot remaining. Looks like Zelot, the player, is about to overwhelm the Snow Zelot here, and he loses a cannon. Snow, he's going to be in serious trouble here, but he is able to manage to hold at the last minute, and there is going to be another cannon coming up soon. Of course, behind is the economy for Zelot, I don't think is very healthy. Yeah, he's got only a single drone in his expansion, so that's something to keep in mind. Another prop has fallen, but we will have this gateway is gonna fall very quickly though. I'm not so sure it's gonna be able to hold or not. And the last minute, Snow is able to keep his gateway. No, he loses the gateway together with the Zelot inside it. That's gonna be slightly problematic, and we will have Zerlings overrunning the base here, but the cannon is about to complete, but it's going to be very quick because the Zerlings are on it at the last minute. Snow is able to hold, and he's going to have to remake a lot of his stuff here. He's got his gateway coming up. Keep in mind that he did not make his core through this entire time, so his tech is very much delayed. But at least now he's able to hold for the time being, and we're going to be seeing transition back into drones now from Zelot side as well as a Hydra end. So this is going to be a 3-hatch Hydra's build. And let me go back to my initial question I wanted to ask you, was that the reasons why the Starcraft 1 players, they switched to Starcraft 2 but then they switched back. Because I was looking up the monetary rewards, and according to my research, Starcraft 2 players don't generate the same amount of viewership and balloons on Africa TV than compared to Starcraft 1. But I wonder if that is a game thing or is that a player thing, because I think if Starcraft 2 were played by Flat or Soma or I don't know, Soki or whatever, right? Just because these guys are immensely popular in StarCraft 1, I think their viewers, the number of views they already had on the on their channels, on their whatever platforms, would still cater to the new content that they produce. So I don't think the problem is with the game. The problem might be with the players themselves. They're not known with the Korean community. So if Flash and all of those people were to stay in StarCraft 2, I think they would still generate a lot of income. So maybe that is not the issue. So what exactly is the issue? Another theory or another idea on this story is that StarCraft 2 is a little bit more boring than StarCraft 1. There's no strategy. Actually, I've never played StarCraft 2, so I don't know how, what is the story there. But if you know about it, please let me know. Very nicely, Probe Scout here to just to check and discover there's going to be a Hydra Dent. And the first Hydras have been made. Behind this, we are going to be Silverdoon. So I think Snow has guessed this correctly. He has not yet built a Stargate. So he's going to be able to have faster tech all around in terms of non-air tech, right? So it's going to have faster Silverdoon, and he's going to make more gateways, and the fact that his forge was not made in the expansion means that the upgrade will be untouched. So that's a nice thing here, and massive Hydras coming out. And let's just quickly check what kind of upgrades we're seeing from both of the players. From the Zerg side, we will have a Hydra's attack range being researched. This is usually what you want to research first, right? And from the Protoss side, ground one's +1 weapons for ground is about 30 to 40%, then the Zelot leg was about 25%. Then these Hydras are going to try to come out here, so let's see how much damage they can do. We will have 7 Hydras, 8 Hydras, and they might attempt the bust right now. They're going to dive in. The number of Zelot is high enough, but the angle of the attack is going to be from top to bottom. So this, I feel like these Zelots, I guess it really depends on the player style as well. But in this position, these buildings are completely not covered by the cannon, so they will fall very quickly. The Zelot try to come out, but the angles of the Zelots are not very good, but he's going to try to take as many hits as possible to keep these buildings afloat so that he can get the next round of Zelots here. And a Dragoon, I don't know why he's building a Dragoon, but he's going to try to come out just to buy some time here, and he will lose the Dragoon here, and I think he was able to cancel it, so that's nice. And this other gateway is going to be falling, so for the time being, Snow is kind of boxed in. He's got 70 supply, and Zelot has got 58. And do we have a bust? No, we're going to be having fresh rounds of Hydras. I think the moment those Hydras arrive, there's going to be a bust. Let's see. Looks like Zelot is going to be able to dive in just a few seconds here. The cannons at the southern side are not yet completed. Very tense moments. Zelot is not diving in. What is he doing? He is gonna just sit there. He's gonna wait for the next round of Hydras. Of course, it's coming from very far away. So let's see how they're gonna be able to arrive here at the scene. But for the time being, we're gonna be seeing these Zelots just hanging out and holding the fort. And the cannons have completed largely. Looks like the Zelot the Hydras from Zelot are just hanging out here and doing nothing. The Overlord is also checking after the situation. We are seeing, let's maybe just take a breathing moment here and check the tech here. We're going to be having some Sanity Storm being upgraded, and armor is going to be upgraded because Zelot have +1 weapons now, so that's nice. And as for the Hydras, we have 0 upgrades for so far. So let's go back and check what is the situation inside of Zelot's base. Of course, he's just on very basic tech, but he's got his 6 hatcheries, right? Wait, where's the 6 hatchery? He doesn't have a 6 hatchery. This is a 5 hatchery build, but he's gonna come out and expand towards somewhere maybe top right on this middle area, 12 o'clock position. We shall see. But going back to my original question, you know, I hope that this is okay for you, for me to ask these kind of casual questions, because this is not a serious stream. These guys are just having some fun, and I'm also having some fun. So, you know, like I was saying, Flash and Soki and, you know, Bisu and Jaedong all have huge, you know, immense popularity in Korea and a huge fan base. So whether they play StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, it's the same, right? I think the number of viewers would just follow them around. And as for so that addressed the money situation. And as for the difficulty of the game, I believe that even Flash, you know, was able to enjoy a lot of success in StarCraft 2, right? He was winning a lot of games. And even a player like Su, who was hugely popular in StarCraft 2 and it was doing so well, had finally switched back to StarCraft 1. So what is the deal? What is the deal with that, man? I guess maybe it's finally boils down to the love for the game, the love for the community, and maybe the camaraderie, because camaraderie, whatever is the word, because in StarCraft 1, this is where all the buddies are, and of course that has a spillover effect. The more the players switch back to StarCraft 1, the more the pressure it is for the other players to kind of feel like, okay, I also want to switch back. But yeah, anyways, if you know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. Some cannons getting destroyed and Snow is getting ready to bust out. He's gonna be making his first observer. This overlord is not gonna be trying anything crazy like the lurker drop. At a lower level, we would see lurker drop, maybe double lurker drop around this time, but on the high level, it's just not feasible because the reaction time of these pro gamers are so fast, especially when they have nothing else to worry about. Looks like this lurker contain is impressive. We have about 5 lurkers now and more morphing. So it would take a while for Snow to bust it. He's gonna go Dragoon first. Hydras need to get involved. So to kind of clear out these Dragoons. And looks like there's going to be more attack happening. We will have a storm soon. He's waiting for the last player to cast a storm. He's not yet casting a storm. He's checking for the depth of the enemy fortifications here. Funny because Zergs don't really have buildings, but these lurkers are kind of trenches, you know, in World War I terminologies, if you will. Anyways, looks like the lurkers are largely cleaned out. These other Hydras are not yet engaging. They might engage right now. But we will have a storm. This storm is great, and some Hydras are going to get put back, so very nicely done by Zelot, and we will have more storm from the backside here. He's waiting to not cast a storm on individual units, and he's waiting for the large amount of Hydras to get involved here. But this is going to be a single lurker remaining. Storm might want to come out here and destroy that single lurker. And hey, what is it? Oh, he's moving back. Okay, there's a lurker drop in the main. Excuse me, completely missed that. So it's going to take a while for Snow to clear this, and thus Zelot decide it's going to be a moment for him to try to go in here with the rest of the forces on the front side. Though he doesn't go into the front side, but this lurker drop is going to be buying a lot of time for Zelot, and he's going to be just making massive amount of forces, but he's got more drones as well at the top right. He's still on very basic tech though, so keep that in mind. We are looking at the 30-minute mark of the game, and the Dragoons have +1 weapons and +1 armor. The Hydralists have just +1 weapons, and there's going to be some nice storms here just to drive the Hydralists back. What Snow want to do is drive possibly towards the left side and use the storm to eat up any kind of reinforcement on the right side, but we're going to be having another drop, but the cannons have completed already, so these lurkers cannot reach the middle line. They are just going to be buying some time, and these kind of drops are kind of a double-edged sword here for the Zerg side. If you do not do any kind of damages enough, okay, server connection has been lost, as I tell you. I'm in a very kind of remote location. I'm traveling today. If you do too many drops of it, you don't get any damages done, it's gonna come back to bite you, because you need those Hydras for defense against the next Protoss push. But anyways, there's gonna be a storm. No, that High Templars have exhausted the energy, and he's gonna try to bait the Hydras into trying to snipe it, but no, at the last minute, the Hydra's gonna back up here. And Snow is going to get ready to take his expansion. Do we have another drop? Yes, it's going to be another drop. Hydras and double lurkers. There are 2 cannons in position. The first cannon has fallen, but there's going to be a storm to kill up the lurkers. How many lurkers will fall? Looks like all the lurkers have fallen. And that overlord falls as well. So these forces are going to get clear up, and Slow's going to remake his cannon. Nicely done. There's going to be a push in the center area. Looks like these Hydras gonna try to circle around and try to attack this brand new base. Let's see, they come in, but the Dragoons are in position, and of course the angle is not so good for the attacking side, and the Hydras will have to back up here. And yes, so far though, I feel like Zelot isn't doing too bad. If you look at the supply, he's having a very nice supply situation compared to Snow, but he needs to think about the next state of attack, and we are seeing Evolution Chamber as well as, this is Queen's Nest. Yes, that's right, Queen's Nest gonna come up, and so he's not late in terms of attack. Nicely done here to push those Hydras once again back. Yeah, and are you following the news? What is happening these days in the world? There's a lot of talks about the children in Gaza starving to death because Israel have refused to allow private aids to come to. They only allow these kind of organized approved or whatever non-profit companies, non-profit organizations to give aids to Gaza. So that is one thing that people have been talking about. There's this war almost between Thailand and Cambodia. They're my neighbors, so they're gonna be affecting me as well. If the internet is bad, it's possibly because these guys are bombing each other, and the bomb actually reach our infrastructures. Actually, some of the rockets or missiles actually hit Vietnamese territories, and on the news they say that they even reach Laos territory. Okay, these battles are crazy, and Snow's gonna get pushed back hard. Does he have any more storm to utilize? Looks like he's gonna just exhaust all of his storms here, but he's gonna be able to mob some of those High Templars back into Archon just to save them from the battles. So we shall see what is gonna be the next thing here. And Snow is very, very careful to keep his Zelot in case of another local drop, but so far we're not seeing it. Okay, these Dragons gonna try to plow towards the right side to take up small squadrons of lurkers, and these large amount of Hydras from the top side is coming through. Nice storm, but Zelos has already retreated from that area. Another great storm to clear out one of those lurkers. Of course, these games are all about trades here. You need to trade effectively. You need to put the highest possible tariffs on the enemy, and of course incur the least amount of tariff possible for yourself. Of course, Trump economy for your understanding. Anyways, another Nexus is gonna come up. We have 4 bases. Even though this is a training game, the players are gonna be playing quite seriously. I would say there's no shenanigans. There's no crazy ass builds like that previous game we saw between Snow and another Zerg player. I forgot, was it Hero or somebody like that, where instead of going for conventional builds, Snow just go for Reavers against the Zerg player. Anyways, nice storm done here for Snow to clear out these lurkers. Nice storm to kill 2 lurkers who were damaged from before, and we shall see what is going to be the next move. Drones, I think these are drones, no, these are Zerglings, because there's going to be a Zelot attack against this brand new base that I completely missed. Sorry guys, I'm not really on my best alert here and only have one screen. So I'm actually doing this cast, also looking at other things in the process, and these Zealots are doing a lot of damages, and the Zerglings have forgone to reacquire their targets, but now looks like attacking the oh my god, destroying the Hydroden is not a good thing here. Actually not the Hydroden, the Nidus Canal. But anyways, no worries, because on the battlefield Zelot he's having some success. He's gonna be able to contain his enemies slightly here, but Snow is growing in number. He's got his 4 bases, and as for Zelot, he's got to think about something else. He's behind with about 8 supply. The Zerglings gonna try to come to, but these cannons will hold for the time being. At least one cannon will fall for sure, yes, but no more than one cannon. More than one cannon. The Dragoon's gonna be able to help out as well. We'll be having more attacks on screen here. What is gonna be the state of tech inside of the Zerg side? We do have to fight them out. Let's just quickly check the upgrades. I only have one hand actually, because one of my hand is used to kind of hold my microphone, hold my mic, guys. Is the expression that I will be using here. Namkraft +2 weapons and +2 armor on the Dragoons, no shield. As for Hydras, +2 weapons and +1 carapace. Nicely done. Good storm. We will have finally Defiler joining the battle. And when the Defiler join the battle, Dragoons will leave the chat because they would not be able to fight effectively in the Dark Swarm, and Zealots and High Templar would take not a Dark Swarm. Right. Several Overlords as well. Like I always tell you, when you storm the army, you should try to storm the Overlord, because you will get a unit under them for free. It really depends on the situation. There's something to the Overlords, but around the in that there was a nice idea, and look at how many Dragoon shots because Dragoon talked to flash and they do it looks like it's a snow supply. Is that even is in that we have an hash coming up and he's looking a bit interesting. The fire pushes towards the third and fourth night. At least the fighter Dark Storm cast is amazing, and the red army might be feeling a little bit of a pressure. Storm to clear this hang out to coming out to try to zones away the storm, but at the last it's a whole position. Some more players will comes again. But we open right now. We are seeing some hit some of the lurkers, but not all. And this Dark Storm on the right side is exhausted, so that's the moment for and some of these crackling. The fire reinforcement is not fast enough, and this Dark Storm has been broken, which means this Protoss will be able to pick it up again. This is a and Snow, after winning that battle, he's ahead once again by 20 supply. If the game was now it's going back for here. Really soft on the Dragoons, and it looks like maybe messing up because here in some there's a lag on my stream because I'm the server. I find my if I have really open today, I have no Wi-Fi on my phone. I have a cheap Walmart headset, and of course, I'm sitting in a room that has no table, casting on the floor. I wish I could give you a picture of me right now, but that would be 10,000 subscribers. And wait for me to view myself to naked Broodwar. That'll be some nice time. Of course, this defiler is being very useful to try to contain the enemy. And Zelot want to keep the area a little bit relatively secure here. He wants to make sure he cover all of the angles. But now it's starting to get a little bit difficult for him to cover everything. He's trying hard to cover all of the bases to make sure that this Protoss cannot break out. And this a little bit feels like a TVT in which one Terran player is scattering his, the defenses and contains and fortifications over various areas, and the other player is gonna unsiege the tanks and move everything in a single strike. And that is going to be something we want to see in the future. Some more nice storm to really soften up those units very nicely. Then by Snow, he's now ahead by about 5. And Zerg is basically to go up, which is kind of interesting because he can easily send some force over to destroy this Zelot. But maybe he doesn't know about it. It's a situation for these. Just stand die under Ukraine with no reality, no regards for one man's death is 1,000 men is a comedy. No, it's not a comedy. It's basically a comedy. Although Namkraft, but anymore happening here, and survival is he's not able. He's losing units way too fast. Anyways, we doesn't even have time to whatever clean. Attack on this map, and these are last. We need to block this. They are in position to block. We need to have the fighter, but the fighter, as you know, do not do well against Zelot. Zelots also do damage and the Dark Storm. Nice storm! And that was a missed storm. No, that was not so good. But he gets advanced to the lurker, and that's going to come out. And these single lonely lurkers are getting taken out one by one. and trading very effectively from Snow. He has not yet even been able to saturate his bases, so you need to connect up his bases very soon here. But these supercharged Archon is looking very strong, +3 weapons, +3 armors and +1 shield. And as from the Zerg side, excuse me, what are we saying? Of course, +2 weapons and +2 carapace. And try to go some is going to come around, be a strong Archon to stop these nicely. They're stuck in the middle, and now the letters are going to try to thrust go by. And still need to break through. He's not allowed to mine. He's not deserved to come on the high ground either. So that's something to keep in mind. Basically, not taking a train. The house know what it is. Also, what these lurkers caught in the process. I can no longer be but it's just also I find to go to high make for the low ground and the English side so this base is contained, nicely done to live, and probes will finally get transferred towards his naval base, and Snow is looking very good. He's leading by 60 supply. Zerg side is going to be running out of expansion soon. He's going to be forced to expand towards the 6 o'clock position, which is not really ideal. All these units will eat a lot of storm, more storms to eat up those lurkers, and buying a lot of time. He gets all both of these lurkers, and these Zealots will be buying time. These cannons will be able to survive until defilers arrive. Crackling's coming through, but that's a mistake because they're not supported with Defiler Darkstorm. So even if these cannons fall, Snow will gladly, take the trade he would gladly trade cannons for Hydralisk and Zerglings or Crackling. 60 supply. This 26-minute mark. More slowly to enjoy that, insanely fast and not understand. And say, oh my god, beautiful storm done. And I think now Snow got his bases nice covered. He traded so effectively. Now take 6 o'clock base, as long as he doesn't allow us to take the 12 o'clock base. The game is gonna get decided. Snow out. We have a forge upgrade. Yes, the first is for the +2 plasma shield upgrade. He's got so much lead that he can do because he's not producing units. He's maxed out. Money will be used to just maybe we have be going with a standard. He's not going to be going for reverse. But he's going to drop. I don't know if this is not. He's a lot of forces on the top side, and Zerg's got new is to get attached. Funny babies don't hatch. Drones hatch, right? Yeah, it's gonna be a huge drop, but let's see how much damage he can do here. The Protoss is coming through, and Snow must be sniffing something. Where is the majority of your force? I don't see them. He's gonna move towards the middle side here. He's checking around for lurkers, and he doesn't see anything. He's gonna plow through the middle, but the drop is gonna come through. There are several cannons, Dark Templar, Archon, and whatnot. And these 5 overlords will find an angle, but Snow has seen them. I think he's gonna try to retreat. He's gonna trust several storm. They come to the cannons, gonna trying to get set up here. There's a cannon in the mineral line that is about to get completed. There, it's gonna have to have a defiler. Does he have a defiler with them? He doesn't have a defiler. Why do you do a drop that defiler? That's so pointless. And yeah, so many destroyed, and that's maybe the price of 1 or 2. And that's it. But all and differential has widened to 7 once again. Snow with this gun try to victory. Get under something. But just a storm so many beautiful 3 look he coming in and finish the job. He will come to the not up here. He clears the back. Switch battle. I'm seen right here. Battles. So brutal, and night armies from both so much time, and now we have supply differential widening to